Today, President Obama is coming to New York City to make a final push, a closing argument for the reasons that we need substantial financial reform in the system and to try to put new rules in place so we don't face the crisis that we just went through in the last year and a half that put millions of people out of work and destroyed the retirement of millions of others. Well, we're taking this opportunity to launch a website called dumpwallstreetmoney.com. That's dumpwallstreetmoney.com. And what we want to do with everybody in the country, we want a petition to be signed that will go to the heads of the two major parties' political committees, the Democratic National Committee and the Republican National Committee, calling on them to demand that every candidate and all the parties' affiliated committees give back all the money related to Goldman Sachs. Now, Goldman Sachs is just an example of the corrupting influence of money in politics. And as you know, Goldman Sachs has been charged with serious crimes by the Securities and Exchange Commission. And so we want to cleanse the system starting with Goldman Sachs. It won't stop with Goldman Sachs because we have to rid this corrupting money from Wall Street, the very money that influenced the change and the deregulation of the system that led to our crisis. Now, you're going to hear two arguments from the politicians who are going to try to keep that money in their pockets and their bank accounts. The first thing they're going to say is, well, you know, that those checks that come from Wall Street, they don't influence how I vote. Come on. Come on. When you hear that argument, you have to say to that politician, you can't be serious. We know exactly what that money does. Wall Street and other corporations don't give money to candidates or incumbents because of their great patriotism. They buy it, they put it in there, they're buying the vote, they're giving that money to people so that they can control them. We know that. We're not stupid as voters. And the second thing they're going to say is, well, we don't have to give that money back until someone is convicted at Goldman Sachs. Now, the fact is that political leaders have to have a much higher standard than whether you're guilty or not in a court of law. Political leaders have to be clean beyond reproach. Voters have to be sure that the vote of their elected representatives is not for sale. Has nothing to do with the courtroom. Voters aren't going to follow the legal machinations. Every single legislator has to be clean in the eye of the voters. And we know that that money from Goldman Sachs and other financial institutions has corrupted the system. So join me today in passing that petition out at dumpwallstreetmoney.com. That's dumpwallstreetmoney.com. Pass that petition around. We will gather all those signatures and we will present them to the heads of the two major parties, and we're doing it in a bipartisan way. Even though I'm a proud Democrat and I am running for the United States Senate as a Democrat, I believe as Americans, all Americans, should join now to clean up our system so we can save our democracy.